And now we're coming down past Duke's Meadows. We can't yet see Barnes Bridge, but they're way ahead now. And at the present moment, Oxford in the lead by, I should say, 2 lengths. Oxford in the lead by 2 lengths, and Cambridge is not struggling by any means, but they're trying to get everything they can into it. But Oxford, of course, find the race easier than Cambridge because they can watch Cambridge's act tactics the whole time. Both running at the present moment at 33. They've got the rate of strike to 33. And Oxford are in the lead by 2 lengths, 2 to 2.5 lengths. Now, this Oxford crew has been coached by Daniel Topolsky, himself an old blue and a great horseman, and he's coached this crew to victories already fought 3 to 4 times. And now it looks at the moment, unless the accident happens, as though he's going to tuck into his pocket the 5th win of his coaching of Oxford. Graham Hall has been the coach of Cambridge and worked extremely hard on them, and the fortunes of these two crews have gone backwards and forwards all the time. They've both suffered from trouble in the boat of health and sickness and bad backs. Cambridge hanging on extremely well. Now then they've got the advantage of the bend, but if Oxford are far enough ahead, they take the inside of the bend if they dare to risk it with Cambridge on their tail. And I think they will, because the Oxford Cox is coming across, and in fact they're further over to Middlesex than Cambridge. And he's coming right across to take the inside of the bend, and the length, there must be a length, certainly a length of clear water between the two crews. The Oxford Cox has got to watch it like a hawk all the same, because Cambridge may suddenly put on the pressure and come out with a tremendous spurt. And at the present moment, Cambridge have been rowing at 34. Cambridge rowing at 34, and they're catching them off a bit. They're catching them off a bit. There can't be more than 3/4 of a length between the two crews, and I think the Oxford Cox is realizing this and beginning to give way a bit. He's beginning to give way and get back onto his station. Now we're coming up to Barnes Bridge, and at Barnes Bridge, of course, they've both got to go through the center arch. That's the rule. And the Oxford Cox has got himself over onto his right station, anyhow, at the present moment, and he's keeping well to the Surrey shore, and he's only a length and a half between them, I should think. Length and a half, Cambridge caught him off a bit, and there's a big bend here in favour of the Cambridge crew as they come round onto Barnes Bridge, and we come up towards the finish. And at Barnes Bridge, we've got the time here. The flag is up at Barnes Bridge. It's down now for Oxford, and it's up again for Cambridge, and it's now for Cambridge, down for Cambridge. We get the times there in a moment and be able to reckon the distance, but I should say, I guess at the present moment it must be just about 2 lengths.
Oxford were 16 minutes 3 seconds at Barnes Bridge, and Cambridge are catching up. They are only 5 seconds behind now at 16:08, and now they've got the advantage of the Middlesex bend, and they're quite capable of putting a terrific spurt. There's a tremendous crowd here along the Surrey side, outside the White Hart Hotel, where Cambridge went down 2 years ago, and Cambridge are coming back very fast indeed. They put their rate up to 34, attacking Oxford very much, who must give way because Cambridge are on the Middlesex station, and Andrew and Christopher Wigglesworth is steering a magnificent course. He's not giving way one bit, and Oxford Coxon, Jeremy Mee, will have to give way. Probably being warned by the umpire, Alan Burrow, who's right alongside us here, and it's just about a length now as Cambridge come round towards the brewery.
This is a very, very great battle, this one. Cambridge are catching them up. Cambridge must be, well, they must be pretty well overlapping almost by now, I think. This is an absolutely splendid race and a splendid effort by Cambridge, being 2 lengths down and beginning to make up that distance. They haven't got very far to go. Oxford have got to cling on like mad to that lead if they can, but Cambridge are really putting everything they've got into it, every ounce of strength, and they're keeping their oars extremely well covered, and they're catching them up, and they must be overlapping now. They're overlapping Oxford, and they're overlapping Oxford, I should say, by about, a matter of feet, or perhaps even up to 1/4 of a length. And as they're coming around now, we're getting in touch of Bridge, and Cambridge rowing at 36, and they are overlapping, definitely overlapping Oxford. And now I think they're coming into sight, just at this moment, of Chiswick Bridge. Where is Brian Johnston? Brian Johnston, can you see him yet?
I can indeed, and this is the closest I've ever seen them from this bridge. It looks absolutely anybody's race now, with Cambridge on the Middlesex bank, that's on the inside, and they've got the advantage of it. And Oxford, though, are ahead. You can see that perhaps about half a length or something between the two, but they're coming right down now the middle of the river, followed by the avalanche of launches and helicopter overhead, the biggest crowd I've ever seen. It must be just Oxford, but you can probably see better than me, John. So for the final time, for you to give the result of the boat race, good luck to you from everybody, wherever they are, listening to you, back for the finish.
And here it is with Oxford still in the lead, but not by all that amount. It really is an either Oxford or Cambridge result. It is Oxford just in the lead, and they must be only, I should think, by a lead by about half a length. They've only got a few strokes to go, and it is a really grand battle and finish, this one of the closest I've ever seen, an absolutely splendid one. Oxford just clinging on to that lead of, I should think half a length, if as much as that. And they've only got a few strokes to go. We can see the finishing post here as Cambridge is now really pushing ahead. Really pushing ahead, not of Oxford. Pushing ahead that boat as fast as it can go. And it is almost level now. Almost level, with Oxford just very slightly in the lead. And the flag is up for the finish. And here they come with the last few strokes. With almost a dead heat. This is an absolutely cracking race. It has been all over the course. They've taken advantage of it. Oxford just ahead now. And the flag is up. And you'll see it drop in a moment or two. Oxford is down for Oxford. And it's down for Cambridge almost immediately afterwards. And it is just a lead of a very, very short distance indeed. And what I would say about that was that Oxford, who went off splendidly, and they held out right round Hammersmith. They took the advantage of Hammersmith. Cambridge never let them go for one solitary moment. And then over the last part of the course, when the Ben came into their advantage, they then put on the power that they'd got, and they caught him up and caught him up and caught him up. And I think they were still going up on them as they came towards the finish.